Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Nar for the Nar Report. Back today with another episode. This is episode 10. And all I want to say is I'm glad I'm doing this Nar Report. It is a pleasure to be here. And if it wasn't for y'all, I won't be doing this. Okay. I appreciate all the love and support. Keep on supporting me, and I'll keep doing this. And make sure to subscribe to all of my social media accounts. Make sure you follow them. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at D_NAR_report. All right. So today I'm gonna talk about three things. Week 8 of the NFL season just wrapped up last night between the Giants and Steelers. I'll give y'all my week 9 NFL predictions, and I'll be talking about the NBA games from last week from opening week. All right, so I'll talk about that as well. But anyways, though, if you haven't, like I said, make sure to sub to the YouTube if you haven't. Like I said, the goal is to get 1K, and I'll get there. Let's get to it. Starting off with the NFL Week 8 recap, I'll start off with the Thursday night game with the Vikings and the Rams. Rams win 30-20 in Los Angeles. Let's talk about it. First of all, the Vikings were robbed. All right. They won that game. That was a face mask. How you did not call that? How you didn't call that face mask? Like, that just pissed me off. Vikings, y'all actually won that game. But anyways, though, the Vikings played a great game. Offense, defense was great. The Rams, they played great. Cooper Kupp was back. Puka Nacua is back. Both of those two players scored a touchdown. And I feel like when the Rams are healthy, they are playoff contenders. Yes, they are. When the Los Angeles Rams are healthy, they are playoff contenders. Second of all, the Vikings, I still believe they can win the NFC North, but they can't go on another losing streak like this. And that's it. Rams win 30-20. And looking at the NFC West, right there, that is a tight race right now. Okay, Seahawks, Rams, Cardinals, and Niners. As of right now, anybody can win this division. But I got the 49ers winning this division. Moving on to the Sunday 1 o'clock games. As y'all know, there was no London game for this week. Thank God. So let's get into the first Sunday game. We're going to start off with my Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Falcons win 31-26 in Tampa Bay in the NFC South showdown. That was for battle for first place in the division. Let's talk about it. The Atlanta Falcons played a great game. Offense and defense was great, but here's the thing that we got to work on defense. Stopping the run. We got to stop the run. Okay, that's been our biggest issue throughout the whole season. We just can't stop the run. And we need a pass rush too. So I feel like once we get those two things, we'll be great. Now let's talk about it. Kirk Cousins, he had a great game. Looking at his stats right now, 23 for 29 for completion, threw for 276 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Kirk Cousins owns the Bucs. Man, he must love playing against Tampa Bay. Because, man, that dude was balling. And then at the end of the game, when he scrambled for 14 yards to almost pick up the first down, I was like, okay, Kirk, I see you. Man, I didn't know Kirk Cousins was like that. Now, let's go over the other players. Bijan had a good game. Drake London had a good game. Kyle Pitts. It was National Titans game. We are finally getting Kyle Pitts involved. Like I said, if we utilize our weapons, we could be a scary team on offense. Let's go over the stats. Bijan Robinson, he had a good game. 13 attempts, 63 yards, and no touchdowns. He had a good game, but he did score a touchdown, and that was a passing touchdown. But that rushing touchdown got called back because of the holding call. Let's go to receivers. Darnell Mooney, that dude can ball. Ever since he came to Atlanta, he's been showing out. Darnell Mooney, 7 targets, 5 receptions for 92 yards and 1 touchdown. Kyle Pitts, what a game. 5 targets, 4 receptions for 91 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts almost got a touchdown taken back. And if you know what I'm talking about, it was 14-7 Tampa Bay, Kyle Pitts scores a touchdown. He fumbles the football. He was this close. That close, but hey, I'll take it. But next time, Kyle Pitts, you got to learn from your mistakes. And that's it for the Falcons. Let's go to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers, they played a great game. I like what they did. Baker Mayfield, he was great. The offense was good. The defense was great. At first, let's go to the fourth quarter. Falcons up 5, 31-26 to kick a field goal to extend to an 8-point game. What happens? Koo misses the field goal. I was like, oh my God. If we lose this game, I don't know what to say. Trust me. If we would have lost this game, y'all won't know how I'll be feeling right now. But a win is a win. And that's it. The Falcons are in first place in the NFC South at 5-3. And they're 4-0 in the division. 4-0. Man, rise up, baby. This is one of the best seasons I ever watched since 2016. But that's it. Falcons win 31-26 and improve to 5-3 of the season. Moving on to the next game, we got the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals. Eagles win 37-17 in Cincinnati. Let's talk about it. The Eagles are back. Okay, they are back to being Super Bowl contenders. Jalen Hurts is playing like an MVP again. Bengals, y'all 3-5. Y'all haven't won a home game all season. I picked y'all to win this game, and I didn't know y'all was going to come out like that. But let's talk about it. Jalen Hurts, 16 for 20 for completion, threw for 236 yards and 1 touchdown. And he had 3 rushing touchdowns as well, too. Saquon Barkley, he had a good game, even though he didn't score a touchdown. 22 attempts, ran for 108 yards, and no touchdowns like I mentioned. The receivers had a good game. Devontae Smith, 7 targets, 6 receptions for 85 yards. A.J. Brown, 6 targets, 5 receptions for 84 yards. Devontae Smith scored a touchdown, but A.J. didn't. Ever since A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith came back from injury, the Eagles' offense has been insane. So I feel like that was their missing piece. But Saquon Barkley has been their offense all season long. Now let's talk about the Bengals. I don't know what to say, but I thought y'all was going to come out with a fight. But the Eagles just came into y'all building and ran y'all out the jungle. Joe Burrow, he had an okay game. 26 for 37 for completion, threw for 234 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. Bengals, I picked y'all to make the playoffs, okay? But there's still hope that they will sneak in. All right, so let's not count the Bengals out just yet. I feel like they could win at least 11 games. All right, I believe that the Bengals could win at least 11 or 10 games and still get into the playoffs. But the AFC right now is crazy. But that's it. Eagles win 37-17, and they are now 5-2 of the season. Moving on to the next game, we got the Detroit Lions destroying the Tennessee Titans, 52-14 in Detroit. I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. The Detroit Lions are the best team in the NFL, okay? I know that the Chiefs are 7-0, but the Lions are the best team in the NFL, all right? The offense, best offense in the league. Defense, well, Steelers got the best defense in the league, but as of right now, Lions got the best defense in the league, even though with Aiden Hutchinson out. When Aiden Hutchinson got hurt, I was like, I ain't worried because the defense is still great. Now, 1 second. As we see, we got a comment right here. It says, Champy. What's up, Champy? It says the Cardinals are the Cardinals equals most underrated team in the NFL. As of right now, yes, I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals are the most underrated team right now. I didn't expect this team to be 4-4, but I love what Kyler Murray is doing. They are in first place in the NFC West. They got the Bears this upcoming week. If they win this game, I feel like they'll be in good shape of winning the NFC West. Because I like Kyler Murray, I like Marvin Harrison Jr. Y'all got weapons. The defense is good. McBride, he's a good tight end. And another comment right here: Kyler Murray is a top 5 quarterback. Hey, that's a hot take, but I don't think he's top 5 in the league or in the NFC. But he is top 10 in the NFC right now, where I put him. And then the last comment: look out for my cars. We're going to make noise, and we're an up and coming team. Hey, good luck to your Cardinals, Chevy. I do believe that as of right now, y'all will make the playoffs. All right. I do believe that the Arizona Cardinals will make the playoffs this year. And I'll get into that by the end of the show. Talk about your team and their upcoming schedule as well, too. Now, back to what I was saying about the Lions and Titans game. Lions best team in the NFL, all right? Jared Goff is him, okay? Jared Goff will bring a Super Bowl to the city of Detroit. All right, let's go over the stats. Jared Goff had a phenomenal game. 12 for 15 for completion, threw for 85 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. That dude is amazing. Gibbs, that dude is amazing. He is an amazing running back. The Detroit Lions got the best running back duo in the NFL, and Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Best running back duo in the NFL. David Montgomery, he had a good game. Both running backs had a good game. Looking at the stats, Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 attempts, ran for 127 yards and 1 touchdown. David Montgomery, 9 attempts for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. The receivers are amazing. Sam Laporta had a touchdown, 6 targets, 6 receptions for 48 yards and 1 touchdown, doing 100%. Amon-Ra St. Brown averages a touchdown every game. That dude is a top 5 receiver in the NFC, and he is top 10 in the league. I think that the Detroit Lions are going to make it out the NFC this year. Okay, they'll get the number 1 seed. They're going to win the division and make it to the Super Bowl. And don't be surprised if they win it all too, because I feel like this Detroit Lions team could win it all. All right. Now talking about the Titans. Titans ain't that much to say about them. Titans suck. All right. They're just rebuilding right now in the draft. And that's it. Lions win 52-14. Moving on to the next game, we got the Arizona Cardinals and the Miami Dolphins. As I just showed the comments right here, my champion, he is an Arizona Cardinals fan. So I'll be talking about his team right now. Cardinals win 28-27 in Miami. Spoiled Tua Tagovailoa's return game. Let's talk about it. Kyler Murray, last season he was hurt, but ever since he came back from injury, he's been balling. All right. Cardinals, ain't nobody expected this team to be first in the division. Okay. The Cardinals are a sleeper team, just like you said. They are an underrated team, and they will make some noise. Okay. Don't be surprised if they end up in the playoffs. Let's look at the stats. Kyler Murray, he had a good game. 26 for 36 for completion. Threw for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. Kyler Murray. I'm going to say this right now, but I think Kyler Murray is the best quarterback in the NFC West right now. Because that dude is balling. Let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. Tua had a good game, first game back. He was balling. 28 for 38 for completion, threw for 234 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. Dolphins, y'all had this game. Cardinals, they won off of a game-winning field goal at the end. But this was a very good game overall. Both teams went back and forth, but the Cardinals just got the win. And they're 4-4 the year, on top of the NFC West. That team is special right now. And Marvin Harrison Jr., shout out to him because I like him. He's going to be a top 5 receiver in the next couple years. And that's it. Cardinals win 28-27. Moving on to the next game. In New England, we got the Jets and the Patriots. Patriots win 25-22, upsetting the Jets. Man, I had a feeling that the Patriots were going to win this game. Okay? Because when the Patriots play the Jets in New England, they always seem to have their number. I just feel like the Patriots own the Jets. Because it's true, though. Let's talk about it. Drake May, he ended up getting hurt, but he did have a good game. 3 for 6 for completion, threw for 23 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Those were his stats before he got hurt. And then Jacoby Brissett came into the game, and he was balling. 15 for 24 for completion, threw for 132 yards and 0 touchdowns. But most likely, all of their touchdowns came from the running game. That running game for the New England Patriots was great. All right. They bought out. Now let's talk about the Jets. Let me go ahead and say this right now. New York Jets, your season is done. All right. It's done. It's cooked. Y'all are finished for the year. After Thursday night game, when y'all lose to the Texans, pack it up. In NFL, if y'all can't hear me, I'm going to say this to y'all, and I'll be very clear. If the Jets lose on Thursday night against the Houston Texans, take them off of primetime, okay? All of their primetime games they got coming up after Thursday night game, take them off. Flex it, okay? Because I don't know what's going on with the New York Jets. They were 2-1, and they're on a 5-game losing streak. These Bulls are 2-6. Aaron Rodgers, what's going on? You got Devontae Adams. Y'all are reunited. Offense, what's up? Defense, what's up? Like, these aren't the New York Jets that I expected this season. Like, I expected this team to stay competitive for the division and make the playoffs. But as of right now, they just me and the sorry Jets from back in the days. 3-2 wins. Let's go over the stats. Aaron Rodgers did not have a good game. 17 for 28 for completion, threw for 233 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. But it wasn't enough, though. And then Jets. Y'all had a chance to close the game with defense. Y'all was up 22-17. And then what happened? You scored a touchdown and got the 2-point conversion. The defense was sorry that game. But that's it. And one more thing. Ever since the Jets fired their head coach, the Jets falling off a cliff. Maybe firing Robert Saleh was the wrong thing for the Jets. But that's it. Patriots with the upset, 25-22. And then we go to a game in Jacksonville with the Green Bay Packers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Packers win 30-27 in Jacksonville. Let's talk about it. The Green Bay Packers, top 5 team in the NFC right now. Jordan Love, ever since he came back from injury, he's been playing like a top 5 quarterback in the division. Not in the division, but in the NFL. Jared Goff is the best quarterback in that division, by the way. But Jordan Love, he had a good game. 14 for 22 for completion, threw for 196 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interceptions. And if y'all didn't know, Jordan Love was hurt. He was hurt. He got injured again. But hopefully he's okay. He's not out for the season because even though he's out for the season, the Packers are still a good team because if you haven't watched the Packers when Malik Woods was the starting quarterback, he was balling. All right, let's go over the stats right now. 4 for 5 for completion, threw for 56 yards and 1 touchdown. Hey, that's how you ball. And on the running game, Joshua Jacobs, he had a good game. 25 attempts ran for 127 yards and 2 touchdowns. And the Packers got a good defense too. I still believe that the Green Bay Packers could make it to the NFC Championship game. Now let's talk about the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, he had a good game. The offense played great. The defense played great for the Jaguars, but Packers won off of a last-second field goal. This was like that Cardinals and Dolphins game. Dolphins played great, but the other team just came out the game with a win by a game-winning field goal. But let me say this about the Jaguars. Why isn't Doug Peterson fired? Why is he still the head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars? Like, this dude should be fired by now. But that's it. Packers win 30-27. And then we have another upset alert in Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns defeated the Baltimore Ravens 29-24. Let's talk about it. Lamar Jackson, he didn't have a good game. 23 for 38 for completion, threw for 289 yards and 2 touchdowns. King Henry, 11 attempts for 73 yards and 1 touchdown. I feel like the Ravens were doing more passing than more giving the ball to Derrick Henry. Because if the Baltimore Ravens run the ball a lot, the offense is going to put up points. Okay? Derrick Henry has been the Baltimore Ravens offense. And I don't know why they used him in that game. Let's talk about the Browns. Let me go ahead and say this out the way. Let me go ahead and get this out the way right now. And y'all won't believe what I've been saying. Deshaun Watson has been the problem. It hasn't been the coach. It hasn't been the players. It hasn't been the offense. It hasn't been the defense. It's been Deshaun Watson. Okay? Mr. $230 million fully guaranteed has been the problem. Y'all wasted all that money on a quarterback who hasn't took y'all to the playoffs. Jameis Winston, he had a good game. 27 for 41 for completion, threw for 334 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. Man. I know this was in Cleveland, but I didn't know the Browns were going to win. I thought the Browns sucked. But we all know that Deshaun Watson was the problem. If Watson would have played, they definitely would have lost this game. But shout out to the Cleveland Browns. They are 2-6 of the season. Ravens are now 5-3, and they are in second in their division in the AFC North. The Steelers won last night against the Giants, and they're now in first place in the division. But that's it. And I believe that the Baltimore Ravens will be okay. They'll still win the division, but they got to beat the Steelers, okay? If they don't win one game against Steelers, like if they get swept by them, Steelers win the division. And that's it. Browns win 29-24. Moving on to the next game, we got the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. Texans win 23-20. Let's talk about it. First of all, since we're talking about the Houston Texans, prayers up for Stephon Diggs. He is out for the season with an ACL injury. Man, all these dang injuries in the NFL. Like, what's going on? But this season has been wild. All right. But CJ Stroud, he had a good game. 25 for 37 for completion. Threw for 285 yards and 1 touchdown. Texans offense, even though Stephon Diggs is out for the year, they still got a good offense. All right. And the defense is phenomenal too. Texans offense was great, even though despite the Stephon Diggs injury, and the defense was great as well too against the Colts. Yeah, they're division rivals, but I expected a close game, and it did end out in a close game. Now let's talk about the Colts. Anthony Richardson, awful game. 10 for 32 for completion, threw for 175 yards, 1 touchdown, and 1 interception. And I'm going to give y'all my opinion on Anthony Richardson. He's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's ready yet. All right? He's just not ready yet. Give him some time. Joe Flacco is the backup quarterback. Let him sit behind Joe Flacco, who has been balling. I thought this dude retired. I thought Joe Flacco retired. This dude came off the couch and still playing football at a high level. And now that Joe Flacco is the starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson has been benched for Joe Flacco. And now the news has happened. The Colts are going to make the playoffs now as the 7th seed. But that's it. Texas win 23-20 in Houston. Then we go to the 4 o'clock games, starting off with the Chicago Bears and the Washington Commanders. That was the game I really watched. Man, what a game that was. Commanders win 18-15 in Washington. Now, we all know what happened at the final seconds. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But let's talk about the game in general. This was a good game. Washington basically scored off of field goals, but the defense for the Bears did their job. All right, the defense did their job for the Bears. The offense was a little shaky. Now, I understand they scored 2 touchdowns around the end of the game, but hey, you got to play football. Caleb Williams, you had an okay game, but the offense really wasn't doing nothing for the Bears. It was all defense, okay? The Bears' defense is amazing. Looking at the stats for Caleb Williams, 10 for 24 for completion, threw for 131 yards, 0 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. Caleb Williams did not have a touchdown. This wasn't his game. And Washington has a solid defense, so I wasn't surprised of the stats. DeAndre Swift had a touchdown, which brought the lead to 5. DeAndre Swift's touchdown made the score 12-7 late in the 3rd quarter, which the Bears exactly needed. Now let's talk about the Commanders. Jayden Daniels, he had a good game. 21 for 38 for completion, threw for 326 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Washington should be the favorites to win the NFC East. Now let's go to the end of the play. 2 seconds left. The Bears are up 3, 15-12. Washington needs a Hail Mary to win the game. They need a miracle. All right? But that one player for the Bears, what are you doing? Like, why were you taunting the fans? See, this was going through his mind. Yeah, we won the game. They can take that, home and all that stuff. They came back and yada. But this dude was talking trash to the fans, taunting them, waving them goodbye and all that stuff while the play started. 2 seconds left. Jayden Daniels hikes the ball. He scrambles to his right, rolls back a little bit, and then scrambles to his left, throws up the pocket. Deep ball. Ball's tipped up in the air. It is called by Noah Brown for the game-winning Hail Mary touchdown. Man, I said, when he caught the touchdown, I was like, oh my God. What did I just witness? Man, Bears, y'all made Jayden Daniels on that last play look like Aaron Rodgers. Because I still can't believe what I witnessed. That is play of the year, okay? It don't matter what happens throughout the rest of the season. That is play of the year, all right? And Jayden Daniels right now should be the favorites to win Rookie of the Year. But that's it. Commanders win 18-15 in Washington. What a game. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Seattle Seahawks. Bills win 31-10 in Seattle. The Seahawks are inconsistent, okay? Last week, y'all came into our house in Atlanta and beat us by 20. And now y'all back at home against the Bills. Don't get me wrong, the Buffalo Bills are a good team, but I picked the Seahawks to win this game in a very close game. But no, out of the stadium. The Seahawks are inconsistent, okay? And I don't think they're going to win the NFC West. Let's talk about the Bills. Josh Allen playing like an MVP right now. He should be in these MVP conversations. Josh Allen balled out 24 for 34 for completion, threw for 283 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. And I can't believe I slept on Buffalo for this upcoming season. Man, we was all thinking, oh, he don't have Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis anymore, and they lost a lot of guys on defense. The Bills might not be the same. But no, this Buffalo Bills team has been the same since Josh Allen got there. When it had Stephon Diggs, 2022, 2023 Bills. Like, they've been playing like the Buffalo Bills we know. The offense for the Bills, amazing. The defense was great. The Seahawks, y'all are inconsistent, okay? That's all I got to say. But that's it. Bills win 31-10. Moving on to the next game, we got the Denver Broncos and the Carolina Panthers. Broncos win 28-14 at home. Bo Nix, that dude is a stud. He's them right now. And who expected the Denver Broncos to be 5-3 right now? If y'all expected the Broncos to be 5-3 throughout the first 8 games, y'all let me know in the comments. Because nobody expected this team to be 5-3. Let's just talk about it. The Broncos got a very good offense, and they got a good defense. And as of right now, I'm going to get this out the way. The Denver Broncos are making the playoffs this year. All right. I feel like this is their year. The Denver Broncos end that playoff drought and make it to the playoffs this year. Now, will they win a playoff game? Nah, because they got to go up against like Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Houston, and Kansas City. But I won't be surprised if they end up winning the playoff game. Let's talk about the stats for Bo Nix. Bo Nix, he had a good game. 28 for 37 for completion, threw for 284 yards and 3 touchdowns. Hey, Bo Nix got some weapons over there in Denver. Okay, the running game is good. He got good receivers, a good offensive line. The defense for the Denver Broncos is a very good defense. Okay, I feel like the Denver Broncos have a top 5 defense in the AFC right now because that defense is good. Maybe Russ was the problem in Denver because Bo Nix is doing better than he was doing when he was there for the first 2 seasons. And that's it for the Broncos. They are playoff contenders. And then for the Panthers, they suck. All right. Bryce Young didn't have a good game. The Panthers are one of the worst teams in the NFL. And that's it. Broncos win 28-14. Shout out to them Denver Broncos, man. I feel like they'll end up in the playoffs this year. Moving on to the next game, we got the LA Chargers and the New Orleans Saints. Chargers win 26-8 in LA. Let's talk about it. Justin Herbert, good game. 20 for 32 for completion, threw for 279 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert has been playing good under Jim Harbaugh. Hey, Brandon Staley was the problem the whole time. Why wasn't he fired when they blew that 27-0 lead in the playoffs against the Jacksonville Jaguars in the wild card game in 2022? Why wasn't he fired then? But the Chargers, they can sneak into the playoffs, okay? The Chargers can make the playoffs. They got a good offense and a very good defense as well, too. And Herbert is working with his new weapons, even though they got rid of everybody in the offseason. And now he got some new weapons to work with. And the Chargers' offense is very good right now. And shout out to Jim Harbaugh. That was a very good signing in the offseason. Now let's talk about the Saints. Man, the Saints suck. All right. They're 2-6, third in the division. Saints, how y'all started off 2-0 and then end up falling off the cliff 2-6? Somebody explain to me, how did the Saints go from averaging 40 points per game to averaging only 10 to 15, 30 points, 8 points, 7 points a game. How? And don't get me wrong, they are dealing with injuries, but that's not how you play football. All right. But that's it. Chargers win 26-8. And Saints didn't even score a touchdown. Okay. They just kick field goals. Okay. They got a safety, and then a field goal, and then a field goal. Next up, we got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Las Vegas Raiders. Chiefs win 27-20. They are now 7-0 the season. They are the only unbeaten team in the NFL. All right. At one point, the Chiefs got to lose. All right. But here's the question. Who will hand the Kansas City Chiefs their first loss of the season? We just got to wait and see. I feel like somebody will beat the Chiefs this season, but you don't know. You just don't know. It could be a team that they could lose to, or it can be anybody like upset. You know what I'm saying? So just keep in mind of that. The Chiefs will lose a game. Now let's talk about the stats. Patrick Mahomes, good game. 27 for 38 for completion, threw for 262 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. The offense for the Chiefs was great. And don't get me wrong, the Chiefs throughout the first 3 weeks of the season has been scrappy, but they've been playing football. They've been playing Kansas City Chiefs football. All right, Patrick Mahomes, he's back. Travis Kelce is back. He had a good game. Let's go to his stats. Travis Kelce, 12 targets, 10 receptions for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. Travis Kelce is back. And I've been hearing nothing about Taylor Swift being at the games. But hey, Travis Kelce told Taylor, hey, that's enough honeymoons. I got to lock in. They're still on the road to 3-peat. Yeah, right now, they're 3-peating right now. Okay? But someone could get into their way. You just never know. And for the Raiders, they played a very great game. Gardner Minshew, he was good, 24 for 30 for completion, threw for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the Raiders, since Davante Adams left, suck. All right. The Raiders will be fighting for the draft. And that's it. Chiefs win 27-20 and stay undefeated. Then we go to Sunday night with the Dallas Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers win 30-24 in San Fran. Let me say this right now. All right. And hear me loud and clear. The San Francisco 49ers own the Dallas Cowboys. Okay. It doesn't matter where they're playing, what the weather is. Shoot, they could be playing in Canada. And then the 49ers still beat the Cardinals. And the 49ers still beat the Cowboys. Excuse me. Cowboys. I said Cardinals. My bad on that. The 49ers just own these guys. The Cowboys just can't beat this team. Let's talk about it. 49ers, good game. Brock Purdy, he had a great game. 18 for 26 for completion, threw for 260 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. The 49ers season is still alive. I'm glad they got this one. They're now 4-4, heading into the bye week. And now, if they can pick up some wins, they'll be in the playoffs. All right? And at first, I thought the Cowboys were going to come back for a second, but the 49ers defense did their job. Defense wins games, and that was showed at the end by the 49ers defense. Defense win games. Now let's talk about Mr. Dak Prescott. 25 for 38 for completion, threw for 243 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Dak Prescott throws a lot of interceptions. All right. He just like throwing interceptions. Like, it don't matter how much he played good, but one thing about that, he will throw interceptions. Cowboys didn't have a bad game. They played pretty good. They almost had to come back, but we all know that the Cowboys were going to win, right? Yeah, because the 49ers are their owners, okay? The San Francisco 49ers are the official owners of the Dallas Cowboys. And as of right now, Dallas season is over. Jerry Jones retired as the GM, okay? Okay, retire as the owner, the GM, the chairman. Okay, Jerry Jones, your time's up. Okay, I understand you got multiple Super Bowls, but I just don't think the Dallas Cowboys will win under Jerry Jones. Okay, and Dak Prescott is not the problem. All right, maybe it's coaching or maybe it's Jerry Jones. Who knows? But it hasn't been a good season for the Cowboys. And that's it. 49ers win 30-24. And then last game of week 8, we have Monday Night Football between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Giants. Steelers win 26-18. Giants made it interesting. Okay, first half, it was a deep battle of the kickers. They were 3 for 3 in the first half. But George Pickens should have had that touchdown. Okay, I thought he had a touchdown. We all thought he had a touchdown. Steelers fans thought he had a touchdown. But if George Pickens would have scored that touchdown, the final score would have been 33-18. Okay, but the Giants defense didn't really play that bad. It was the offense that struggled a lot. Daniel Jones, he did not have a good game. 24 for 38 for completion, threw for 264 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Man, that Steelers defense was too much for Daniel Jones. The Steelers got really the best defense in the NFL, either them and the Lions. Both of those teams got the best defense in the league. And the Giants, it's time to fire Daboll. Right, the head coach, he has to go. And shoot, Daniel Jones can go with him. That's all I got to say about the Giants. They suck. I don't really have to say that much about, the sorry teams. But let's talk about the Steelers. Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, good game. 20 for 28 for completion, threw for 278 yards, 1 touchdown, and 0 interceptions. Russell Wilson, he had a great game. And Russell Wilson proved that he can still be a quarterback in the NFL. And the Steelers are in first place in their division, sitting at 6-2. They got the bye week, and then they play the Washington Commanders, and then they play the Baltimore Ravens. Be in mind, that game will be for first place in the division. All right? And I feel like whoever wins that game will most likely win the division. But shout out to the Steelers right now. I do believe they will win the AFC North, even though I got the Ravens winning that division. But as of right now, I believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers will win the division. Russell Wilson, he's been balling out. The defense is one of the best defenses in the league. Watch out for the Steelers. And here's my hot take right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers could end up in the AFC Championship. All right. The offense they got is good. The defense they got. The Steelers are a very good football team. And that's it. Steelers win 26-28. Now that's it for the NFL. At the end of the video, I'll give y'all my week 9 NFL predictions. But let's talk some hoops. Let's go to the NBA. The NBA season is back. Starting off with the Boston Celtics opening night. They hang their banner number 18. Shout out to the Boston Celtics. Celtics had a good game. They won 132-109. And they almost broke the records for the most threes in the game. All right. The Boston Celtics are on a mission. Let's look at the stats for the starters. Jrue Holiday, good game. 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Al Horford, 11 points, 3 rebounds, and 5 assists. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Celtics, with or without Porzingis, are the best team in the league. All right. Jason Tatum, this dude balled out. He was the MVP of the game. Jason Tatum should be in the MVP conversation this year. Jason Tatum, 37 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists. Jaylen Brown, 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. Derrick White, 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Celtics, they play like the defending champions. And the Knicks, awful game. Mikal Bridges, what's up with this dude jump shot? I mean, that jump shot is ugly. He hasn't been shooting the ball the same since he was with Phoenix and Brooklyn. But since he came to the Knicks, that jump shot has not been it. He got to fix it. Mikal Bridges, 16 points. OG Anunoby had 4 points. Josh Hart, 12 points. Jalen Brunson, 22. And Carl Towns has 12 points. The New York Knicks this season will be top 3 in the East. And they can end up in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the only way they can do that, though, is if Karl Anthony Towns shows up and Mikal Bridges shows up. I feel like the Knicks season in the playoffs will determine on those two players, Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. And that's it. Celtics win 132-109. And then for the Timberwolves and Lakers 3-1 of the season. All right, what a good start right now to the Los Angeles Lakers. LeBron James has been hooping. AD has been hooping, playing like an MVP. He's been consistent every game. And I feel like if AD stays consistent every game, the Lakers will be top 5 in the West. I do believe that the Los Angeles Lakers could finish top 5 in the West. And they can make it out the West this year, too, if AD stays consistent. Let's talk about that Lakers and Timberwolves game. Lakers win 110-103. Looking at stats, AD, Anthony Davis, 36 points. Austin Reeves had 12 points. Rui Hachimura, 18 points. LeBron James, 16. And D'Angelo Russell, 9 points. Hey, the Lakers got a good team this year. All right. Don't be surprised if they make it out the West. Now let's talk about the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, 27 points. Rudy Gobert, 13 points. Julius Randle, 16 points. Mike Conley, 5 points. And Jaden McDaniels, 6 points. Now, the Minnesota Timberwolves, yes, I understand they traded Karl Anthony Towns, but they can make it back to the Western Conference Finals this year, okay? Julius Randle has been playing like a dog since he arrived in Minnesota. Dante DiVincenzo has been hooping as well, too. I feel like the Timberwolves won the trade. All right. But it'll determine in the playoffs. And here's what I expect for this NBA season. For this NBA season, I expect it to be one of the best seasons I've ever watched. Every team competes. The West is the best conference in the league. And let me give y'all my 8 teams who I got making the playoffs this year. Number 1, I got OKC. I got Minnesota. I got Denver. I got Dallas. I got the Kings making it to the playoffs this year. I got, who else? I got the Lakers. That's 6. I got the Grizzlies. And I'm going to throw in the Suns. Because as of right now, I don't think the Pelicans are going to make it, but they'll be in the play. Opening night for the NBA was a success. And here's some more games I'll talk about. Bucks 76ers. Bucks win 124-109. Just in mind, Embiid did not play or Paul George didn't play. Let's talk about the Bucks. Damian Lillard, 30 points. Brook Lopez, 10 points. Gary Trent, 11 points. Giannis had 25 and Taurean Prince had 16. The Bucks this year, if they can stay healthy by the playoffs, they can go on a run. Okay? This Bucks team is very good. And for the Sixers, hopefully Embiid stays healthy and Paul George, because with those two along, Tyrese Maxey should make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Okay? With the roster they got, I believe that 76ers can make it to the conference finals. And that's it for Bucks and 76ers. Now we go to the Suns and Clippers game. Suns win 116-113 in overtime. What a game. Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, they all had a good game. KD had 25 points. Bradley Beal, 24 points. Tyus Jones, 11 points. Devin Booker, 15 points. And Yusuf Nurkic, 11 points. The Phoenix Suns this year, I don't expect them to do that much. They might get out of the first round, but the Phoenix Suns, I don't think they can compete with all those teams in the West. And these are the teams that are better than the Suns overall. The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, the Mavericks, the Lakers, and the Thunder. Those teams are better than the Phoenix Suns right now. And the Grizzlies. Because Ja Morant come back from injury, the Grizzlies are going to be scary this year. Now let's go to the Clippers. James Harden had a good game. 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists. Norman Powell, good game, 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Zubac, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. Derrick Jones, 12 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist. And Terrence Mann, 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. The Clippers this year, they will probably be in the play-in, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs this year. Because, first of all, Kawhi Leonard cannot stay healthy to save his life. All right? And they're going to rely on James Harden to carry this team into the playoffs. But let's talk about the Hawks. They are 2-2 of the season. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from my rookie, Zachary Richardson. He has been balling for the Atlanta Hawks, our number 1 overall pick. That dude can hoop. Thursday, I watched the Spurs and Mavericks game. Mavs win 120-109. The Spurs this year are a play-in team. Victor Wembanyama got himself a point guard in Chris Paul. I like what I've seen from the Spurs. And for the Mavs, they're on a mission to return to the NBA Finals. After adding Klay Thompson, the Mavs are scary right now. Klay Thompson had a great game in his Mavs debut. He had 22 points. That was a good pickup by the Dallas Mavericks in the offseason. And that's it for the NBA. And for the East, Boston is the best team. And who is going to catch the Boston Celtics? The Knicks, as of right now, are the biggest threats to the Celtics. The Sixers and B got to stay healthy. Milwaukee, Giannis got to stay healthy by playoff time. Cleveland, they got a good team. Indiana has a good team. Orlando, they got a young team over there. Paolo Banchero, all-star, he can hoop. Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton, he can hoop. This team just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And then you got the Miami Heat. They're up and down team, okay? So those are the teams in the West. In the East, that will be in the playoff conversations, and the Atlanta Hawks. So those are the teams you got in the East. Otherwise, you don't got no other teams. But that's it for NBA opening week. That was a week to remember. A lot of games happened, but I wasn't able to talk about them because I didn't really watch a lot of those NBA opening games like that. Now, to end the show, I'll give y'all my Week 9 NFL predictions. Starting off with the Thursday night football game, we got the Houston Texans and the New York Jets. The Texans will beat the Jets because the Jets suck. But I do want the Jets to win this game because I want them to show some pride. Like, they're still, putting the team, the NFL on notice. Like, hey, we're still here. Like, that's how I want the Jets to play on Thursday. But give me the Texans over the Jets. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. The 2 5-3 teams go up against each other in Baltimore. I got the Ravens winning this game, bouncing back against the Cleveland Browns. And this is a potential playoff preview right here. Saints Panthers. Give me the Saints. Both of these teams suck. Man, at first, it was crazy because I was going to pick the Panthers. But I just realized, man, the Panthers are garbage. Next up, we got the LA Chargers taking on the Cleveland Browns. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns. Okay, they're at home. They're in Cleveland. I'm just liking the Browns at home against the Chargers. Next up, we got the Patriots and Titans. Who's watching that game besides Patriots and Titans fans? Give me the Patriots over the Titans. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. Good game in Atlanta. Falcons, I feel like we should drop 40 on the Cowboys this year because the Cowboys haven't been a good team all season long. Yes, we understand they can win on the road, but then play in a national embarrassment at home. But the Falcons, there should be no excuse why we don't win this game. We are the better team overall. Kirk Cousins is better than Dak Prescott. So, yeah. But y'all already know who I'm rolling with. Give me the Atlanta Falcons over the Dallas Cowboys. The Falcons will beat the Cowboys. Next up, we got the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. The Bills will win this game, but hopefully the Dolphins could put up a fight. The Bills are the best, one of the best teams in the AFC right now. Next up, we got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. This is the Bengals' chance to win a home game this season because they're 0-4 at home. And if y'all can't win this game against the Raiders, something has to be changed. All right. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders versus the New York Giants. But let me go ahead and get this out the way. I won't be surprised if the Giants win this game because every time the Giants play the Commanders, they always play good against each other. But that's not the case. The Commanders will beat the Giants. We got the Bears and Cardinals. I'm rolling with the Bears to beat the Cardinals because I feel like the Bears will bounce back after that tough loss to the Commanders because the Bears should have won that game. So I got the Bears beating the Cardinals, and I'll recap and I'll give y'all my predictions once again after I go over all of these games. Lions Packers. This is game of the week right here. Winner takes first place in the NFC North. We got the Detroit Lions, best team in the NFC. The Green Bay Packers, good team as well too. But give me the Lions over the Packers to stay on top of the division. Man, them boys balling right now. The offense, Jared Goff is him. The defense is phenomenal despite Aiden Hutchinson's injury. Jaguars and Eagles, this is Doug Peterson's return game to Philadelphia. He will be trying to get his revenge against his former team. The Eagles will win. All right, the Jaguars suck. Rams, Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks to beat the Rams. Seahawks, I'm picking y'all to win this game, okay? All right. So hopefully y'all can prove me wrong. Sunday night, we got the Indianapolis Colts versus the Minnesota Vikings. Hey, do y'all remember that last game between the Vikings and the Colts? The Colts were up 33-0, and the Vikings came back and won that game. That was the largest comeback in NFL history. But I'm rolling with the Vikings to beat the Colts. But I won't be surprised if the Colts win because they got Joe Flacco starting. The defense is not bad for the Colts. All right, the defense is not bad for the Colts. But I'm picking the Vikings to win this game after their first two losses of the season. And then for Monday Night Football, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs will win and stay unbeaten. So let me go over y'all my predictions again. For Thursday night, I got the Texans beating the Jets. I got the Ravens beating the Broncos. I got the Saints beating the Panthers. I got the Browns beating the Chargers. I got the Patriots beating the Titans. I got the Eagles beating the Jaguars. I got the Seahawks beating the Rams. I got the Falcons beating the Cowboys. Bills will beat the Dolphins. Bengals will beat the Raiders. Commanders will beat the Giants. Bears will beat the Cardinals. Lions will beat the Packers. Vikings will beat the Colts. And the Chiefs will beat the Bucks. Those are my Week 9 predictions. And that concludes today's show of the Now Report. Thanks for everybody that joined. I appreciate all the love and support. Make sure to sub to the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on all of my social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok at D_NAR_report. And that's it. Have a good rest of your day. Nard out.